Hey folks, welcome to the Ham Radio Newbie. I'm Jeff, I'm the Ham Radio Newbie. Tonight we're going to do something that I have wanted to do for a while, and that is compare radios. In other words, we're going to compare how they send and how they receive, how they sound, so that we can get a one-to-one comparison between different types of radios, different brands, and whatnot. So I've got on the other end my friend Mike, Kilo Juliet 5, Delta Echo Victor. He's a club member, and he is a newbie. He's brand new. This is the first night that he's actually used his radios, and we're going to get him comfortable talking on the radio too. So we got a dual purpose here. So give me a sec. I'm going to turn everything around, and we can look at the radios, and then we'll start the tests. So here are the radios that we're going to compare. Got the Tidradio H-9. I'm sorry, that's the H-3. I've got the Boafeng UV-7B, the Quansheng Mini Kong UK1, the Yeasu FT-70 DR, and that's the only one that is a superhetrodyne and not a SDR. And of course, everybody's favorite to hate on is the Boafeng UV-5. This one is the 5R8 watt, so a little bit stronger. What I have tried to do is put back the original stock antennas. I may have them right. I may have gotten them wrong because I swap antennas all the time. So let's start by turning on, well, this one's already on. And let's start. KV5 JRC. How's this one sounding?
KG5 DEV. The one sounds a lower volume. Voice is okay.
Let me turn it up and see if that makes any difference.
It did make a difference. You are a little bit louder now.
Yeah, so the classic problem, it's a handheld, so it needs to be pretty close to your face, but then I've got to take it away from the camera so that you can see it. So there's the UV-5R8W, and let's go to the next one. So this is the Tidradio H-3. Let's give it a try. KB5 JRC. I am now on the Tidradio. How does this one sound?
KG5 DEV. This one actually sounds slightly louder than the last one, maybe 10%, and clearer.
Okay, good to know. All right, let's move to the Boafeng 7B.
Channel mode.
KB5 JRC on the Boafeng UV-7B. How's this one sounding?
KG5 DEV. It sounds almost identical to the previous. There is a hint of static in your voice as you are speaking, a very slight hint of feedback of some kind.
Moving now to the Quansheng. Yes, I did change the original startup screen. And this is running the F1WAN firmware, though I don't think that should affect how it sounds. Let's try it. KB5 JRC. How does the Quansheng sound?
KG5 DEV. Your voice actually sounded a little bit less volume, but I could hear it better, and it sounded closer to as if we were in the same room.
So I just turned it up because I didn't have it up all the way. I normally don't keep this one up all the way because I find it distorts a little bit. How's it sounding now?
As far as I'm concerned, this actually sounds great. I can hear you very well. through this particular radio.
And now we'll try the Yeasu. And this is KB5JRC calling now on the Yeasu FT-70 D.
KJ5DEV, your voice is not nearly as full as the previous one. Didn't sound like it. It actually sounds at a different pitch. A little bit, I don't know if it's higher or a little bit more sharp than in the previous call.
Not only that, but at this end, I'm getting a little bit of a buzz. Let me try turning the volume down a little bit. Okay, how does this one sound? Any better?
It does sound a little bit better than just a moment ago. However, it almost gives me feedback when you have an F sound. It does have a little bit of static. It does not sound like the previous one, which sounded like we were in the same room together.
Okay, hang on for just a second. Let me close this out over here. Okay, so there you have it. That is head-to-head comparisons of just the sound and the transmission, how Mike could hear it, of the UV-7B by Boafeng and the UV-5R8W by Boafeng, the Tidradio H-3, not the H-3 Plus. What else have I got up here? The Quansheng K1, the Mini Kong, and the Yeasu FT-70 D. From my end, the SDRs sounded very, very similar. I mean, a little bit better, a little bit worse, but not all that noticeable. And from his end, you know, there's a little bit of static or a little bit of tone changes, which is actually kind of what I expected, but it's nice to prove it. The one thing that I did not do here is I did go with the stock antennas. I've got a whole collection of antennas that I've put on. And when you want to play, if you're going to be out somewhere further away, it's always good to try a different antenna and see how that works, because it will get you better or worse reception. Anyway, I hope this was useful to you. Until next time, I'm Jeff, the ham radio newbie. Catch you on the air.